I think this is going to be a interesting game.
I think this set could go one of two ways. We're going to be looking at a real brawl between these two, or we're going to be seeing a lot of what you're seeing right now: boomerang, PK fire, bomb.
One interesting thing that I love about links is that it's going to sound a bit contradictory. A lot of links play kind of similar, but there is still a lot of room for interpretation.
I think the character is very expressive. I think there's a lot of different ways you can do your things like your ledge trapping, your bomb drop combos and things like that. I think the character, this is what I mean about Source, you're always seeing something new with Link, or at least that's what it feels like to me.
Link doesn't necessarily, he obviously is not one of the best characters, but he is incredibly underrated because a good Link will smack you up. And Burnsy, of course, has the potential here to do that.
I think I might be calling it a little early here potentially, but I don't think this is going to be quite the scrap fest of Nutlord versus that we saw just now.
Well, you've got to play with your character strengths at the end of the day as well. Even though Link has got one of the best boots in the game in the form of his Nair, it's not part of his MO. It's going to be, I'm going to trip you up with my bombs, I'm going to trip you up here with all of my traps and such. Likewise with Lucas. Neither character's going to want to approach because Link's too sluggish with his sword sometimes. It's just going to be waiting, set up, waiting, set up. They're both trappers at the end of the day.
I mean, we're a minute and a half in and less than 100% has currently been dealt. And, oh, we've just brought the 100% mark. No, we haven't.
This gives me flashbacks because obviously my best friend Alex mained Link towards the start of Smash, and we have another friend Ben who's not here in this tournament who also plays Ness. So I have seen a variation of this matchup a dozen times before, and in my head I can kind of see how it's going to progress. I can kind of see what the game plan is, but I've been out of this game for a little bit in terms of like this particular matchup.
I mean, both these characters are characters that are very good at ledge trapping. As we saw just now, Lucas was able to keep Link on the ledge for quite some time. The question is, now Lucas is off stage, can Link do the same thing?
And you have to keep out for those big Link moves as well. That sword's going to come out, you're gone. And there we have
the fire there to take it.
And likewise, we have that first stock here as well. Not quite sure what Burnsy was trying to do there as well. Maybe just play that 4D chess mind games that Link mains are just excellent at playing at. Who knows? That's what I mean by those big Link moves as well.
I'm very surprised that took it, to be perfectly honest. Up B and shield as Link, obviously a very good option. Did not realise it was a kill option at that kind of percent.
You have to be incredibly mindful. Link's sword is at least half a foot bigger than you think it is.
That's the power of the Master Sword.
Oh yeah. It's been charged 100%. Woo!
Obviously a slight deficit in Ktools' favour here. But there's not much in here. This feels like a set that can still very much go either way.
As it's going to be... Oh, he doesn't have the back throw that... Again, I'm talking from... I absolutely love seeing the bomb SD recovery as well. Again, you just can't count out Link mains when it comes to that. Well dodged freeze there. Well shielded freeze there from Burnsy. And we're seeing Ktools trying to fish, I think, for a grab. He's just trying to use the snake rope. I don't know if Lucas's back throw is as obscenely powerful as Ness's.
I don't believe it's as good as Ness's. I do believe it is still a kill throw.
I certainly think at this percentage, Burnsy should be on guard for that, and he obviously is. Keeping everything at a distance, keeping everything on equal terms, waiting for that one moment to trip up where bomb comes, explodes. Good time recovery.
I gotta say, we're nearing the 4 minutes elapsed time here, with still 2 stocks on the table. We could be looking at a game that goes to time.
We could be. I must admit, I think after that last set... Oh! Is that going to be recoverable? Fantastic recovery. Absolutely S-tier recovery from Ktools here as well. We can tell that Burnsy is just fishing for that big Link jab, which will kill at percent as well. Great shielding, great spacing so far. Just waiting for one last big hit to seal the deal.
Burnsy going to try and go for a ledge guard here. Oh,
and we have it! That's the thing with Link. You have to just think on a 4D chess level as well. There's that much pressure. You've got the shield, you've got the boot, you've got the bomb. You're always having to keep track of a million things at once.
I mean, the question here is, I believe that this is the first time in the set that Burnsy has had a stock or percentage lead over Ktools. How does he play it from here? How defensively does he want to play?
I mean, you're asking a player who's not good at the end of the day. Oh!
Beautiful bomb recovery.
I've got massive... the time that it takes to just grind that out in training mode is admirable. And is that not quite going to be the stock? I was looking at the wrong percentage then. I was thinking that was going to be the game. I was thinking the game was going to be had there, but we still got a little bit of wiggle room left.
Burnsy really making the most of his lead here. He's run away with this a little bit, I would say.
I'm surprised, of course, to see Ktools still be that aggressive. Of course, you have to be in it to win it. We're still at very high percentages. We could be not quite the money there, not quite the money shot that Ktools wanted it to be. We are approaching a minute and a half left. Less than 100 seconds left in this game. I'm surprised that we are not seeing Ktools become significantly more distant.
The problem is that Ktools has got an entire stock to make up here.
Exactly. You do not want to be making any trips up here because
Beautiful
we have it.
Fair.
Because that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Could it have gone to time if things would have been a little bit more different? We're not going to know, are we, though?
I think the question here at this point, at least for me, is how do these players react to what just happened? Which of them is now going to say, okay, I want to play for time in the future?
How deep do we have to get into their heads to, like, understand that?
I'm not saying it's an easy question to answer. I'll just be very curious to see how aggressive their playstyles become in this next match.
Never mind the fact they're on stream.
I suppose. No one wants to be seen to be playing lame on stream, do they?
I know. I feel bad. I did see one relative newcomer get 3 stocked by Benji Bob on stream. I think if that happened to me at my first tournament, I think I'll just hang up my controller and go, you know what, I'm playing with the CPUs from now on, boys. End of. And we start game 2. So I feel like the way that both these players have done so far, we're in for a relatively long haul as well. Burnsy taking a relatively commanding lead after what I can describe as a battle of attrition sort of game plan. Both characters not fully wanting to commit to various front-facing strategies. Both of them, again, quite happy to keep it to the mid-range, quite happy to bait you out with PK Fire taking out, PK Fire trying to go for the grabs, Link doing his usual Link stuff here.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's the realities of the matchup. Both of these characters have tools if they wanted to use them up close. For example, that fair. Beautiful bomb edge guard there.
Oh, that was beautiful.
But the reality of these characters' kits is, of course, they're ranged characters. Lucas wants to poke with his PK Fire. Link wants to poke with his boomerangs, arrows, and bombs. They're not doing the wrong thing. It's just, it's unfortunate that they're so similarly designed in that sense.
No. Of course, well, you got to play 2 characters of managers at the end of the day, and if it's going to be if you're going to get the W by playing that way against another character playing your way, fair enough. I am, of course, living for those big Link moves. Again, maybe it's because is he going to do anything with that bomb? Yes, probably blow himself up with it. Unfortunate PK Fire there.
Of course, for those who don't know, PK Fire being a move with fire properties, it does explode Link's bomb on impact. I believe.
Oh!
Beautiful!
We live for those big 4D Link plays here as well. Probably the only reason that Link is even more viable in this game is just that he's got control of that bomb. We can take the mick out of like so many design decisions in this game, but giving Link that bomb, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I think Burnsy feels maybe a lot more comfortable this match than he did in the last match. I feel like Burnsy's maybe got something of a read on how like Ktools wants to play at this point. I mean, we're looking at a whole 2-stock lead here.
What do you think is going through Ktools' head at the moment?
As a Lucas mate.
Yes. Oh, also what's going in his mind in terms of this matchup? Like, how do you think he's feeling knowing that Burnsy's still got 3 stocks and we're approaching kill percentage for himself?
I mean, if I'm Ktools, I'm worried.
But that'll do it, of course. You know, might not be like the ridiculous back air that Ness has got, but it'll do the job.
It will definitely do the job. And of course, you know, a stock taken is a stock you don't need to worry about. But the reality here is that Lucas is very much nearing kill percent. And currently Link is on 0% with 2 stocks remaining.
Just don't get hit.
Just don't get hit.
Just don't get hit.
Does getting grabbed count as getting hit?
Yeah. Oh!
Tech!
What? What was that? Fantastic play there we see from Burnsy as well.
Oh! Sorry, I was hoping that Burnsy was going to get the JV3 here, but having taken 5%, he is no longer eligible. Back air attack. That's a confirm that both young Link and adult Link share.
Adult Link.
Adult Link. Okay, I actually have a problem with the naming conventions in Smash Bros.
Okay.
Of course, you've got Link and you've got young Link. But in Ocarina of Time, where both these characters come from, young Link is just Link, and Link is adult Link. Do you know what I'm getting at? Because by default, he's young Link. When you start the game, you're playing as young Link, who is just Link.
but we've seen more of Link across the series as just adult Link. So he's default Link, isn't he? Toon Link's his own little thing, though, isn't it?
Toon Link's actually fantastic in this game. Toon Link, actually a very underdeveloped character.
I wish I could play Link a little bit. And we got Game & Watch. Now, this is an interesting matchup here as well. I have got slightly more Game & Watch knowledge than the other matches that we've seen so far as well. There's a clear element here of getting played around by the projectiles. And what do you do when you've got projectiles and you've got bombs, you've got arrows coming your way? You're going to go as Game & Watch. Natural advantage against any sort of projectile, beam, or uses as such. And from this, we're seeing Burnsy become a lot more direct. He's thinking, these bombs aren't going to go my way, these boomerangs aren't going to go my way. I'm going to have to pull out the Master Sword here and try and do my best with them.
What I find particularly interesting about this swap, obviously I can't speak for the kind of characters Ktools might have available to them, but Game & Watch in terms of design, very, very different character to Lucas. Much more of an up-close scrapper.
And again, another character where you can just kind of take it a bit easy. You can just kind of take it a bit easy, but also the guy who's made of a packet of crisps in terms of weight
very, very
and
light
durability.
Character. Tip of the Master Sword, of course, knocking from the blast zone there. And it's interesting as well, both these characters have fantastic up the out of shield options.
We do, of course, Game & Watch is being frame 1 completely invincible as well.
It's frame 1.
I think it is. I actually think it is. Again, Burnsy's doing a great job of just not staying too close, because if he misses one of those hits on shield, it's a completely free up B. Then you lead to a juggle situation, and then could potentially just be another free stop.
What we're seeing a lot in light of those fantastic up B out shield options is that Burnsy's going for a lot of tomahawk grabs here. Landing with no aerial and going for the grab instead. Beautiful forward air.
And that's the risk that you take with Game & Watch. Yeah, you can do things a little bit differently. You can lay back, you can lay the bombs out, you can get the fish out, you can use your hammers, but you're still unbelievably light. Burnsy's realised this, and he's going for a far more direct approach. This is the most aggressive we have seen Burnsy across these 3 games.
Oh, easily. He's no longer sitting back. He's running in with nares. He's running in with fairs. He's running in with boomerang.
And we're seeing the boomerang be used much more. Oh, unfortunately, that must have been on the inner. That must have been on the inner end of the shield there, not leading to a berry, but instead leading to a bit of a shoot off.
I think we could potentially be looking at a 3 stock here.
Do you see it coming?
I've got hope. 170%, but you know, Ktools is struggling to get that kill at the moment.
All we need is another bomb. Are we going to get this bomb come in? Are we going to see a big Link move coming in? I feel something's cooking.
I'm so tense.
Is that going to kill? Yes,
oh,
that's it!
Wow.
And we have Burnsy progressing on to the tournament with a commanding 3-0 lead and ending the set on a 3-0 victory.
Very impressive stuff. I don't fault Ktools for swapping away from the Lucas stall. It's clear that the Lucas wasn't working, but sadly I don't think Game & Watch was the